Wow, joder.
Sí, okay. Okay, we're back with Andres, and we were showing this enlarged map of SPQR. You have a battle here, which is ¿cuál es la batalla aquí?
The battle is one that happens in the middle of the Second Punic Wars. Spain has been conquered by the Romans. Scipio was the master of the Hispania, but it was a rebellion. Mago Barca, the youngest brother of Hannibal,
Yes.
make an uprising, and the Punic army, reinforced by Celtiberian groups of troops,
Yes.
attacked the legate of Scipio with a double legion, Roman and Alai Sociorum. Okay, and this is a typical battle between the multinational Punic army and the homogeneous Roman veteran troops, with the 3-4 lines, typical of Manipular legion. You know.
So let's take a look at the Roman army, the way that it is organized, and that first line. What do you have in that first line there?
The Roman army has a very, very typical way of fighting in deafness, with diff.
Okay.
It was a dynamic system, the legion. It was a dynamic system composed of 4 lines that interchanged and supported each one.
Okay.
The first one was a light one, here and
Yes.
the second line was the youngest of the heavy infantry,
Yes.
called Astati. The third one was the princeps, the oldest one, the medium age, that
Yes.
has more armor than the first lines. And
Okay.
the last line was composed by the most veterans, the oldest and the healthiest of the Roman citizen, which composed a deficit life.
Okay.
Livy, an old chronicler,
Yes.
Greek, Roman chronicler, said that when the battle reached the Triarii, the battle was very bad for the Romans.
For the Romans, not supposed to happen.
Because the first 3 lines has been broken or had problems.
Yes.
So there is a Latin sentence that says, when the battle reached the Triarii, things are getting very bad.
Very bad. Okay, so that's
And this is an experience, not only a game. I want to show that to play war games is more than to move counterfeits, to share things with persons who travel all around the world like you,
yes.
to know people, the social aspect, to have beer with the friends,
It's always good.
to
Good stuff.
to
Yes.
learn a lot of things. It's a very, very complex and very rich hobby.
It is.
Not only a play, it's an experience.
It is. That's
You know what I mean?
I know
Okay.
exactly what you mean. Now let's take a look at the Carthaginian army here, because it's organized differently, right, than the Roman army. So
The Roman army is an homogeneous army with little difference between lines, and the Punic army has many nationalities and many techniques of fighting depending of the ethnic group. You can see the North African infantry composed of a phalanx,
Okay.
probably an hoplitic phalanx,
Yes.
not a typical successor or Macedonian phalanx. There are many theories, but probably it was an hoplitic phalanx.
Okay.
Light infantry, the motivation of these warriors was money. So they were many. They were not many many trust. You cannot trust on him. This is the
Okay.
reason, because Mago Barca are controlling and commanding them. You know.
that's why he's there, to make sure
okay.
they don't run away.
You have the Numidians, the famous and elite cavalry of the Numidians, guarding the left flank, and you have a strong skirmish line composed by slingers from the Balearic Island, the famous Balearic slingers, and
Yes.
above all, African elephants,
Elephants,
ready to push into the first light line of the Romans and trying to reach the first heavy line to prepare and make havoc try to bring havoc in this line and to prepare the second heavy Carthaginian infantry to push into this disorganized line. I'm trying to explain.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the scenario. So
this is like a bullfight. First elephants, second slingers trying to push and to break the first and debilitate the second line.
Yes.
And finally, the bullfighter, who is the heavy infantry, to push through the princeps and break the whole legion.
and that for that to happen, you have to have that sequence of events first, right? The elephants doing their thing.
Yes.
If one of those steps doesn't work, you got a problem.
Well, you have to reaction to the unpredictable events of war.
And the Romans, they have their pilum, right? Which when they are.
The pilum is a powerful
pilum.
weapon, yes, because when well used, that means that from the front can break and give a bonus to the combat. Okay, so it's an important asset that can be used only once.
Only once.
The first time you engage. Okay, this is an important thing, and the density of makers in this integrated system, definitely approximately 60 battles, and we have brought it here to the Mellota because we think it's almost finished.
And when you say integrated, so that people understand, because you're using the simple Great Battles of History system, but you're adding some of the rules
Yes.
of the full game to that simple system.
Yes.
In order for it, obviously, to remain simple and playable and accessible, right?
Okay. This began because we felt uncomfortable with the original system. The original
Yes.
system is different in every game.
Yes.
And it's very complex, in my opinion.
Yes.
It takes a long time. Complex rules doesn't mean more historical and more funny or more realistic simulation. After it, GMT released the simple Great Battle of History. It's very good rules, but it has a problem. It's very funny. The problem is that some formations, because it's a system which alternate activation. So if you and me are playing, you
Yes.
and me alternate with the formation who are in the key point of the battle. So the rest of the formation, the less important
You're
sectors,
just sitting and watching.
yes, and they don't move. This is not realistic. Even the worst troops, even the worst formation and the worst generals, at least the other player simply sits and see how Alexander, Caesar, or Hannibal is destroying him
Yeah.
without any possibility of reacting, you know?
Yeah.
So we have limited. The testing have proved us that the best way is to allow only one.
One momentum.
If you
round.
do momentum, you are pressing your own troops, and this is because troops which move more than once
They're
has
getting-
to pass a test stress, a pressure
Yes.
test.
So
And
that wasn't present in the original game, right?
yes, but it was automatic.
It was automatic.
It was different.
But here you have to
to pass a test based on the quality.
a quality test.
Better troops probably will pass this pressure, extra action.
So if they pass the test,
No problem.
nothing happens. But if they don't pass, they get a cohesion hit.
One cohesion.
One cohesion.
One
Okay.
cohesion. You cannot recover cohesion in this system. This is and this is better because it makes the game quicker. And I really doubt that in antiquity, leaders have the chance or have the possibility to rely systematically the troops.
I
you know?
see. So you can't recover cohesion
cannot
points in
recover.
this system. So you got to think twice before doing
Exactly.
things that
Exactly.
take a toll on your troops.
This is the price you have to pay.
Sounds
This
interesting.
makes the game more straightforward, more quick, more funny because the learning curve is very quick. For example, yesterday we played 2 battles
Okay.
with people who has never played any of the systems, and they were finishing the game after 4 hours of playing. But they were not wasting their time thinking on mechanics. They were taking their time into strategics,
Yes,
into strategics, tactics, and enjoying.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
they were
that's the whole
not paying
point, yeah.
any price. You know,
So the rules remain simple and logical, and you
Exactly.
spend more of your brain cells
Okay.
in doing strategy and tactics to see what works better in the
Exactly.
battlefield. Yeah.
We have improved another things. For example, the role of the skirmish units. In the Sirpol and the original system, skirmish units are very powerful. The role of the skirmish infantry was to try to debilitate, to throw missiles, not to stop the heavy infantry, you know? So
Just kind of to disrupt them a little bit.
Exactly. So we have put the skirmish infantry really in the role, real role. No, it's an accessory role, no principal role.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to employ every type of unit in its historical role. Okay.
Yes. So
No Supermans.
and you have the rules already online.
No, because we are taking our time.
Okay.
Our objective is to give you and the people who are interested a free system to enjoy the GMT series as a support, as
Yes.
an extra, free. But we have to give it when it is finished. We have
Okay,
at more finished the playtesting after 4 hours and many battles in the 3 main ages. Alexandrian, Macedonian Phalanx,
Yes.
Middle Republic, Manipular System, SPQR
Yes.
game, and the finally the late Republican with the cohorts of Kaiser.
So
You
you're,
know?
you're now playtesting the
Yes.
rules.
Yes,
So how
in the different ages,
So
the
you-
different games.
So
Okay?
when do you think you'll have like a set of rules that after playtest?
For example, I have some examples of the rules, okay? This is the way Romans interchanged their lines, the manipular system. In the original system, this cannot be done.
You can't do
because
that.
there are rules to allow it, but organically it was not possible. In the simple system, it is possible, but it is automatic. This is disengaging. It was a very, very, very difficult.
A very difficult maneuver to
Maneuver.
pull off when you're in battle.
Exactly. But for Romans,
The back that are going to substitute
they
their
try,
positions. Right?
it fails, it has another cohesion point, they retire, and finally the Princeps in a second activation, because it's a different formation, engage with the use of Pilum, pushing Havoc into an already debilitated phalanx.
Okay, I see. Okay.
This is possible, it's difficult, but for Romans it's less difficult.
And when you say it's difficult because you have to roll for
Exactly.
troop quality to see if
Exactly.
you can pull it out.
With negatives, depending of the mobility, because cavalry is easier to disengage from foot troops.
Of
so
course,
they
yes.
move, so there is a positive for them, okay? So we have two modificators only, no? This is the table. It's very, very easy, you don't need infantry, you have to pass a TQ.
Yes.
If you are any nationality, you have a -3. But if you are Roman against non-Roman troops, only 1 minus.
Okay. Minus
Okay.
1. Okay.
And the other group is the mobility of troops. If you move more than the opponent, obviously you have lighter equipment, and it's easier to
Easier to
disengage.
disengage.
Like for example, cavalry. It's easier for cavalry
Yes.
disengage from foot troops.
Oh, I see.
And that's all. And it does really works.
It works.
This is the most important. It's very funny, quick, easy, and you share for all the battles the same system. Only that you have to take into account the particular rules of every battle, which depicts the particular tactics, leaders,
Okay.
and the special rules of this particular battle. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know
I
what you mean.
expect, I
It's
expect.
so it's a very elegant, streamlined system where you achieve a historical result but without having to consult tables every time and a whole list of modifiers. It is a system that you think that you'll be able to use it for battles of different periods within the great battles of history system.
The objective is to learn quickly, to have an historical flavor,
Yes.
a narrative, an historic narrative, not like a simulation, not a game,
Yes.
and to have fun.
Okay.
This is the three objectives,
That's-
and we think we have reached.
Sounds
reach
really
the goal,
interesting,
no?
and I really hope that
You only have to play. I can sell you the game, the system. I don't gain anything, but I can gain a wargamer who plays games that are stored in the and they don't see table. You know,
That's the whole point. We want to play our games. That's what
Okay.
they were made for.
the
right?
main proof is playing it, and you decide. I always say, you please play again with the original system. Try to play it
Yeah.
and not die in the trying. Play the simple system and play this, and you decide. I made a test yesterday with 10 people, and they asking me, please, the rule, no?
So it's people who never played the game before, right?
No, and they repeat in the afternoon.
That's great. Because what really, if you get them engaged in the tactics, it's really fascinating.
It's fast.
It's fascinating
For example,
because it's all.
We can make an example, okay? This is a Velite, and an elephant infantry unit is going to charge it, okay? Imagine this formation is activated, and this elephant move to engage.
Yeah.
Velites can always retire if charged by the another foot infantry, no matters the movement, okay? But in case of these elephants move quicker, so it's impossible to evade, to retire.
Yes.
So they have to hold this charge, okay? Elephant is a 5 TQ, okay?
Yes.
Velites is a 5. So the difference is 0. Okay, we see the matrix table, and it says that when elephant charge light infantry, it has an advantage of +1. Okay?
+1 advantage for the elephant.
+1. So this combat, the quantity of soldiers is not important, because when elephant charge infantry, it doesn't account for the numbers. Okay.
I see.
So you have a +1, no? For example, we throw a die 7 +1
8.
from the arms, 8. We see 8 for the attacker, no effect, and the defender has to make a root test first. If it passes, it retires and take 2 hits. So we will pass the test. Is 60% of pass, because
Yes,
the
because
0 is 0. 0, it passed perfectly, 2 hits, and it retires, and the elephant occupies, but they are still engaged.
They're still engaged. Okay.
In these systems, the combat don't depend of the volume of the commander. It has its own dynamics. When 2 troops engage themselves, however, in
Yes.
the original system, you have to give a command to
units
make
that are
the
engaged.
fighter. This is not.
Yeah,
this is not-
they have other things to think about than
Exactly.
receiving a command.
So the commander has to think about reserves and how to employ the formation. Once they are engaged, it's very difficult to control them. So instead of giving line orders, they give individual orders.
Individual orders.
But the plan is over, you know?
Yes, I see.
So your decision, keeping reserves, and the way you move like a dance at the beginning of the battle is the key point of the system.
Yes, because once the enemy has met the other man, they're engaged. It's just
For example, Romans, historical writers like Polybius or Livius said about the Romans that they were not original. but they want the batters, although they bad generals.
Okay.
Don't mind to have bad Roman generals. The system of interchanging lines and playing depth works. So let the legionaries do their work. This is the reason, because in almost all the battles, except with the Scipio, the Africanus, who was a genius and take the different lines and make maneuver with them, almost all the battles was straightforward. Push forward and let the legionaries and the relieving of lines do their work.
Their work, yes, because they're trained at that.
This was known by Hannibal, and what done Hannibal, for example, in Cannae, is to try to hold the Romans in the center and crush the Romans by the flanks, because the Romans
in the center were just too strong.
The Romans rely almost 90% in the infantry. They don't have almost cavalry, so the Punic master know that the flanks was
their weakness,
the weak points of the legionary. In synthesis, okay, but more or less. For me, difficult to explain.
No, I think you're doing it to recreate the particular situations that each army has, because both armies are totally different.
Yes.
And they have different philosophies as to how to fight the battle, right?
With the Romans, you take more time to play the system, because the way they fight is by maneuver and in depth. So you have to make more movements.
Yes.
But when you play with a linear army, like the Punic or like a Seleucid, no?
Yes.
Army of the Aducus armies are more linear, so you push. You don't make many tactical maneuvers. For example, for Romans, when they move and have to change the facings, they only pay 1 point, and they can enter the lines, pay only 1 point, and push from the back of with the gladius. Even if they have a +3, they are very powerful when they push from the back or from the flank. And it's very easy once they have broken the line to maneuver in the back. This is the tactics of the Romans. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
But they have to break the line for that.
Yes. Yeah.
So once they break the line, they're trained to rapidly.
Yes. But it's very. I'm going to play this game. I expect to 3 hours approximately.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
3 or 4 hours.
I hope that you keep on developing the integrated system, and that we have very soon the rules so we can try it. I have a lot of these games, and one thing that it frustrates me is it is a complex system, and there's too many little rules in the way.
Complex for the result.
Yeah.
You can get the same result with simple rules. The strongest point of the original system is the sequence. It's a very good, beginning with the wars and finishing with the best generals, with the possibility to
trump the order.
Try to gain the initiative or steal the initiative.
Steal the initiative, yes.
And this is a very powerful, brilliant
It's a brilliant system.
Brilliant system. Bringing it to the simple mechanics is the key.
Okay.
I always say, play it and tell me later.
So, sounds interesting. So, Andres, thank you very much for the demonstration.
Thank you for
I
coming.
love those large maps, and I love that this idea of this is the integrated system of the battles of antiquity. That's GMT's Great Battles of History series. Thank you, Andres.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
And go your where game is Philos.
Okay. Take care. Okay. Let's walk around the tables again. See, there was.
Madre mía.
Let me see here.
Percha inglés, Guille. Madre mía,
See
Guillo.
if I see
Está
on this side there was something.
una hora hablando con el Stuka ahí en inglés, Guillo, que hacía ya 2
coming
años, 3 años que no vale inglés, ¿no, Guillo? Con el Stuka, con el Stuka. Porque está retransmitiendo en streaming para tal, no veas, Guillo. Estoy cansadísimo ya.
Dame-
Es verdad.
Crusader Revolution, I think. No, this is the.
Te va a gustar lo que vas a ver allí, está en el suelo todo desplegado.
¿Qué dices?
Me he tirado casi 50 minutos con el Stuka grabando en streaming para los americanos.
¿En serio?
Oye, tío,
Voy a ver un momento.
estoy extenuado ahora cuando tengo un huequito.
It's an impossible
Cuando
walk.
termines, pega un toque. Nosotros vamos.
Being played by.
Estás solo rápido para verla. Porque estoy
No se ve
apagado.
nada.
O sea, hasta que no se
¿Puedes escaparte?
resuelve-
Venga, vente.
No sé qué está pasando.